Smith on the carry, and by Tyler Fang. What's good? What's good? What's good? What is good, family? This is RawTruth Media, giving you the raw content that you deservedly need. Please like and share. I repeat, share this video if you haven't. Man. Now, this is not the FAMU fans' fault for this. People who are JSU haters, this is your fault that this was the result. So after the Celebration Bowl, the Jackson State players had to hear all the bullshit. I'll repeat, bullshit. This whole offseason. Hating on Coach Prime every time he tries to do right for you. Hating on Shadir Sanders every time he tried to put a performance. Hating on every single player. Look, shout out to Niles Gaddy. I'll repeat, shout out to Niles Gaddy. Everybody and their mama try to make fun of him. And he balled out today. FAMU, don't be surprised if FAMU goes on the winning streak. The next couple of games, they got Albany State, Alabama A&M, Mississippi Valley, and South Carolina State. They're going to go on a winning streak. And all the people who are making fun of FAMU, now Jackson State fans can brag because they're the team that won. But everybody else, they don't have the talent like FAMU. Yeah, Nugget didn't start, and they still dominated. I don't know why he didn't start, but I'm not the coaches. He's a very talented player. When the news comes out about that, then we start judging it. Let me read some of these comments, man. Y'all on fire, man. The depth is crazy. Didn't I tell you about Tavion Beasley? I made a video a while ago saying Tavion Beasley is the gem of that 2022 class. They thought I was just saying stuff. But now it's looking real good right now. Let's get it up to 130 likes, family. Domination, Jacktown in the building. He said, we in here. In my DMX voice, we in here. And FAMU, hey, rep your school, man. Come in the chat too. It's all love, man. Here's the difference. Whether it's a loss or a win, I'm still going to be here and show love. Now, the only ones who can talk their trash right now is Jackson State. So South Carolina State, because I saw some on Twitter talking about how, oh, yeah, they should handle FAMU. Watch. I have FAMU beating South Carolina State. Since they want to make fun of a team losing to a great team. And some of the South Carolina State fans are cool with me. But I'm talking about the ones who are hating because Jackson State's that good. See, they don't even want to give Coach Prime his credit. They don't want to give Dennis Thurman his credit. Now they out here trying to devalue FAMU, who we all know FAMU can be any of those teams. Tell me if I'm lying, family. Now they want... Oh, can you hear me? Sorry. Now they want to discredit FAMU. But they're not fooling me. Yeah, Shiloh was hurt. What's good, Big Spell One? The day one subscriber right there, man. Thank you for tuning in, man. Yeah, Shiloh's hurt. Hey, didn't I tell you about that safety play? They got depth. When you got Tavion Beasley, Tavion Beasley was a 4-star, low 4-star, 80 overall grade on ESPN. He comes off the bench. How about the receivers? How about Dallas Daniels? On my earlier video today, I said there was going to be 2 players on Jackson State that was going to ball out, who's going to score a touchdown first, either Coleman or Dallas Daniels. One of them was true. Shout out to the H-Town's own Kelvick Williams and San Diego own Herman Smith. They balled out. And this is without Nuggets starting. Travis Hunter shut down a whole field, man. And this is Travis Hunter coming off of an ankle injury. That's the only reason why he didn't play on offense today. Because the coaches are smart. Hey, talk to him, Ed Houston. Talk to him. He said, you called it again. Hey, man, I'm just the messenger. I've talked to some FAMU fans today. I told some of them, hey, you got a good team, man. Don't let this loss. I don't see anybody else but Southern that can compete with FAMU. It's just that Jackson State's that talented and they're well coached. Deopolis Jones says, man, I love your channel, man. I appreciate that. I will be at the Jackson State Grambling game. Now, JSU fans, we had some shines. I had a video early, a couple of days ago when I announced that I was going to the Jackson State Grambling game. The shines were saying, oh, don't go because the water situation. Why would you want to go to the city of Jackson? And I had to let that brother or whatever that person know that the city of Jackson, no matter what you say about it, has a lot of history, from civil rights to the first of anything with our culture. And they have a wonderful school in Jackson State and a wonderful stadium that packs out 60K. So yes, I will be going to the Jackson State Grambling State game. And I don't give a damn what the haters say. Every time a city that's majority black goes through something, some of our own people will make fun of a situation being no different than the dominant society. They try to make fun of the city of Jackson. They try to make fun of the citizens dealing with adversity. But on this day, the dark side defense showed everyone that they're motivated. And I want to thank South Carolina State for beating Jackson State in the Celebration Bowl, because now they done motivated this team. If this is the ripple effect. This is the ripple effect. Guess what happened? Guess what happens if Jackson State would have won that Celebration Bowl? Some of the players would have probably stayed because it would have been like, I'm talking about the ones that didn't really perform well. They probably would have stayed and say, we don't need to get all these other players. But ever since the loss, Coach Prime has upgraded in the offensive line. Shout out to Zach Bros. Shout out to Tyler Brown. Shout out to Jasper Ferris. You balled out. Yeah, Nugget did play the whole second half. Whatever happened with Nugget, I can tell you one thing from looking at his body language. Nugget was a good teammate. He didn't complain. He didn't whine. He just played. And guess what he did? Guess what Nugget did? He shut down his side of the field. Yes, I would like to see Nugget start because he's that damn good. K. Bryce, you're right. O-line looked good except for that one play. Remember, I think the backup offensive line came into the game. And then there was penalties. One thing I would like to see JSU do more, and it's really hard to nitpick because JSU just clicked on all cylinders, but I think most of you can agree when it comes to offensive substitutions, I'm comfortable with the running backs and receivers switching out. I'm not comfortable when offensive linemen switch out unless this is a blowout game. Because I've seen a backup offensive lineman that started last year, and they had Shadir Sanders running backwards like the late great Gregory Hines. So when it comes to the starters, I'm gonna need to see the offensive linemen stay on that field. When they try to switch off different offensive linemen, you saw there was a penalty here and there, not in sync. But when the original starting lineman is playing, they held up well. Willis Patrick was a dog today. Yeah, you saw that too, Corn Freeman. He said, yeah, that was weird to me, the line running in and out. I didn't like that. I had people messaging me telling me that too. And don't forget, Rucker didn't play. Weidman didn't play. Rucker is a speedster. Weidman is dominant. And when Weidman comes back, it's over. It's already over. But when Weidman comes back, some of those jump ball plays, and they only missed 3 of them that JSU missed, Weidman gets that touchdown. Yeah, he didn't play in this game. Again, I'm not gonna delve into Weidman's situation. But it was, you know how Coach Prime is. If something's not right, then they will not play. That's all I'm gonna say. But hopefully Weidman comes back because he's a beast, man. If Weidman would have played, Shadir most likely would have had an extra 100 yards. And there's nothing against FAMU's defense. It's just that Weidman's that good. You saw that too, K. Bryce. They switched Dimitri Jordan from guard to tackle. He played well at tackle. Yeah, I noticed that. Man, look at that depth, man. All that depth. And the reason why FAMU got 3 points is because, again, I don't mind substitutions on defense, but you do that, I mean, when they put 27 in ahead of Nugget, that's when they had that big long throw that was like 30-some yards, and it got them on field goal distance. Besides that, it could have been a shutout. That's how impressed I was with this defense. Sarah Foot says Wiseman missed a lot of practice. He's had to sit one out. He good. Thank you for clarifying. So Wiseman, I figured that was the reason. Missed some practice time. So he'll be back. Shallow wasn't there. The safeties covered well, man. The safeties covered the middle well. The tight end couldn't really get much. The tight end started getting the ball more once they put the backups in. But even the backups held up well. Yeah, Nugget didn't play until the 4th quarter. Thoughts on the FAMU quarterback play? Musa had 102 yards, 2 interceptions, no touchdowns. McKay was McKay. And Musa, when he plays everybody else, he'll be just fine. Let me repeat that. When Jeremy Musa plays everybody not named Jackson State, he's going to put up numbers. One thing I was impressed with Musa is that he had composure even though all that stuff was going on, because football is a team game. I'm not saying Musa's going to be a star or anything, but he's better than most SWAC quarterbacks. Can we be honest about that? Anthony Williams says we have to figure out why Nugget is so inconsistent with his playing time. I don't know what it is. Again, when it comes to stuff like that, I try to, stay away from that. But I will say this. I just want to see Nugget get his playing time at some point because he has NFL talent. When you could shut down a side of your field, you have that game. Roosevelt Greenwood said JSU has a low-tier FBS team. And this is what if you give JSU 85 scholarships, they'll have the depth to compete with your Sunbelts, Conference USA, those teams like that, because it takes years to build a team to compete with Big 12 and all that stuff. I'm being realistic. Yeah, they tried Travis earlier and had to rethink fast. Yeah. I hope that's not the case. I hope, K. Bryce, I hope it's just a situation. Wiggins, he has potential. He's young, and that's crazy. Jackson State gets to have him a couple more years. But selfishly, because I'm a fan of Nuggets game, I want to see him on that field more. And no matter what, if he's coming off the bench or not, I still see Nugget as NFL talent. Film doesn't lie. Shout out to Herman Smith. Herman Smith, oh my God, Herman Smith, dang, he could have had a pick six. He could have had a pick six. He was thinking about it, but he was thinking about running for the score. You know what the coaches tell you. Stay put. Don't think about trying to score real quickly. Think about catching the ball first. And then after that, then you react. Catch and react. That's what coaches usually tell their players. Now look at Shadir Sanders' stats, and I'm going to pull it up here. Shadir Sanders, I think he's not hold up real quick. Make sure to hit the like button. Share this video if you haven't. Shout out to special teams. Shout out to the Alabama punter. If you get any talent from Alabama, you know it's useful. The transfer from Alabama to punter, yeah, he's got a leg, man. He's got a leg, and it's not even funny. Pinned FAMU all the way back. Yeah, those are the players you need to be getting. Wait, let me turn it off real quick. A 4-star kicker. Hey, what a difference make with a 4-star kicker. Good field position, helps your defense out, makes some field goals. So far, what we have seen is Jackson State address all their weaknesses. Offensively, defensively, the special teams. And people say defensively, they were good last year. But last year, the defense was really good, but there were areas where the middle was wide open at times. Jackson State has shored that up with the safety play improved, with extra DBs that are ranked. And so here's Shadir's stats for the game. 29 for 33 attempts. So he completed 29 pass completions, 223 yards, 9.8 yards per pass. Dang, that's almost double digits. 5 touchdowns. And don't forget, Shadir Sanders was resting because Jackson State put up a bunch of points. JP Adranda, the transfer from Ohio State, serviceable backup. I know he only had 9 yards, but the talent's there. They pretty much meaning Jackson State was being conservative with the passes. The running game, 139 yards. Now, most of you that are tuned in may say, oh, that's just 139 yards rushing. But for Jackson State, that's all you need. Shout out to the homie, the Pope. I see you in the building, brother. Ed Heason says the word for today is, ladies and gentlemen, dominate. Too loud.
Your friends are still building sandcastles, but you've already booked up.
I hate that's why I hate that ESPN app. So Loud Pack Wheezy says two felt very comfortable. What a difference when you have a decent offensive line. Shadir Sanders finally gets an offensive line that's competent. And he's surgical. And you know what's crazy? FAMU was getting pressure, especially in the second and third quarter. But the offensive line held up just enough for Shadir to get the ball off quickly.
You've been waiting. It's your time.
Yeah, I'm going to have to get off ESPN. So back to the running game. 139 yards. So Santee Marshall had 65 yards. Wilkerson, who I think is the best running back, I repeat, Savion Wilkinson, when it's all said and done, I wouldn't be surprised if he's starting. Had 45 yards. Shadir had 17 yards rushing. And J.D. Martin had 10 yards. He's the bruising back. Jevelet came in the game. He's extremely fast. He is the fastest player in Jackson State. Caleb Jevelet had 2 yards. 139 yards, you'll take it for Jackson State. Because there were games last season when Jackson State was just praying for 50 yards rushing. Now, I kid you not. There were some games where Shadir Sanders was a leading rusher. So this year it's upgraded. Again, kudos to the offensive line being upgraded. Zach Bro, Tyler Brown, Willis Patrick, Evan Henry. And going forward, I hope and pray Jackson State does not switch off the offensive line too many times. Don't do it unless you really need to. A man down, or I hope not, or any of those situations, or when you have the game in hand. They say Semi Moala left for family reasons. When they switched that offensive line out, I was like, look, here comes the penalty. Guess what happened? It was a penalty. Hey, did y'all see Tony Gray? Did he even play? I try to look for Tony Gray. And it's nothing against the brother Tony Gray, but I was like, I wanted to see, did he actually get to play? Roosevelt says, I agree with Wilkerson is the best. We didn't even Tyson Alexander. I hope he gets playing time because I think he has skill. Because one thing about Santee Marshall, he's a good story. Trust me, he's a great story. We all love that he's a walk-on and he earned a spot. But let's be honest, family. Let's be honest. There were some runs in that game when if you had a Tyson Alexander, if you had Savion, maybe they could break some tackles, because I didn't like when they did the power plays with the run. Y'all know what I'm talking about with Santee. And you know he's going to get stuffed if you do. He's not a big running back. I'm sure Coach Bartolone's going to work on that. But, yeah, they got a lot of weapons at the running back position. This running back probably could – yeah, he's too little. Every time they try to do that power play with Santee, you know it's not going nowhere. K. Bryce said Tony didn't make the trip. Dang. Yeah. Yeah, Santee is very fast, but he doesn't have mass. And sometimes it looks like he can't hit the right hole at times. Like when there's space, Santee's gone. Like you saw in the second half, once Jackson State tired out the FAMU defense, then you started seeing Santee get his yards. But I was really impressed with Savion. And Savion had the tough runs, man. Savion averaged 5 yards per carry. I'm telling you, it's just a matter of time. And the thing about Savion Wilkerson, when he was at Delaware State, shout out to them. As a true freshman, he averaged 848 yards, 4 yards per carry, 8 touchdowns as a true freshman last season. Yeah, you got to get Santia space. Man, this has been a great show. Let's get the likes up to 300. Wow. But back to FAMU, man. FAMU, don't worry about people making fun of your team and all that stuff, man. You have a talented team. There's nothing wrong losing to Jackson State, a team that if you watch them, not too many FCS teams can beat them. Jay Hunter says Gaddy is league bound, man. He took this offseason personal. Looking at Gaddy, when I was defending Gaddy, and I shouldn't have had defended him anyway because he's a talented player. People were saying, "Oh, he's overrated. He only had 4 sacks." But when I broke down the film, when I broke down his role last year, his role was to contain. He wasn't the main blitzer. The main blitzer was James Houston. People who understand football knows that. But instead of analyzing the game last season, people took jabs at Niles Gaddy, said that Niles Gaddy was a waste of space, saying that Niles Gaddy shouldn't be starting, was complaining that Niles Gaddy was at the SWAC. You can look on Facebook, Twitter. They was complaining that he was at the 2021 SWAC Media Day. And now you see Gaddy locked in. He gets one-on-one training because at Tennessee, you know how they do it at FBS schools. If you're not a highly ranked player, you're not getting that one-on-one training all the time. At Jackson State, he's able to work with former NFL coaches and players. Now he's taller. He looks like he's 6'6". They said he's 6'6" now. And he gained some weight too. He looked like a menace today. Yeah, Gaddy got bigger, went and had his man body. He's a grown man right now. He's a grown man like right now. Like, share, subscribe to the channel. Mr. Redskins 562 says, shout out to Maurice Sims. That work he had them boys this summer. Maurice Sims, assistant strength and conditioning coach at Georgia, now at Jackson State as the head conditioning coach. This is how smart Coach Prime is. He looks at all the assistants at top-notch programs. Last year, Brett Bartolone coached. He was assistant at Nevada, where they had a prolific offense. Hired him as the OC. Then hired Maurice Sims out of Georgia, and he was just the assistant strength and conditioning coach. And look what happened. Offense is revamped. The Jackson State players are stronger, faster, more attentive to detail. And recruiting's Warren Sapp, it ain't finna be fair. If Jackson State gets Warren Sapp with that Florida connection, it's over. It's really gonna be over. Someone said something about. Let me look. Let's see if we can get this to 400 likes. Someone asked me, why is the like button important? The like button, what it does for YouTube, it helps get more people. When you keep pushing that like button, the video's out there more people can tune in, and it brings a better conversation. When you bring in more people in the conversation, it's fun discussion. Yeah, Coach Prime not playing at all, man. And I know Coach Prime is a humble brother, even though he's braggadocious, which is a good thing. We need more brothers and sisters braggadocious. He can be motivational too. He was motivated this season. Don't forget, people were complaining how Coach Prime coached. They said he couldn't coach. They try to say that he gave Shadir Sanders a position, even though Shadir Sanders had offers from Bama and everybody else. They ignored that. And fast forward now, Shadir Sanders looks like the FCS Player of the Year so far. And the receivers are better. The cornerbacks are better. The two deep. I mean, the second string defensive players at Jackson State look like starters. Jackson State in the fourth quarter, later in the fourth quarter, played their third string, and I didn't even notice it was third string. Yeah, smash the like button, man. Smash the like button. And if you want to support the channel, Super Chat or Cash App as well. Thank you for supporting RawTruth Media, man. Oh, yeah, don't forget. Oh, yeah, when basketball season's coming up, y'all know I'm going to be on it. Yeah, Coach Prime did show mercy because he could have, if you looked at the game, he could have pumped 70. But he respects Willie Simmons. He respects FAMU. Remember, he's from that area. He's from St. Mars, but kind of close to that area, Tallahassee. He loves FAMU. So, of course, he's not going to run up the score. And kudos to Coach Prime. I know a lot of people nitpick him, but he's a man of integrity, man. Just because he may say some things you don't like doesn't mean he's not a good man. He's a man of integrity. I respect him for that. Mr. Thompson says the commentator that brought up South Carolina is a certified hater. South Carolina State, yeah. D.I. Love just won, and you hating on the final. Jay, what's his name again? Because this is about to be an ether session right now. Let me get a sip real quick. Jay Walker. Brother Jay Walker. So after this game that Jackson State had, proven a point, you brought up South Carolina State and how they beat Jackson State. Oh, they got to do this and that. I know you love the MEAC. I get it. But at the end of the day, we're all HBCU. We're all HBCU. So I don't know the point of and then he had the ranking of this year of saying, oh, South Carolina State's the number one HBCU because they beat JSU last season. Again, going off last season. So I hope Jackson State keeps beating the break out of teams so they don't keep having to go back to last season since they don't want to give credit. Yeah, we're HBCU. I don't know. I'm not with this SWAC versus MEAC stuff because last time I heard the dominant society, they don't want any HBCUs doing well. SWAC versus MEAC. Give me a damn break. We got institutions not getting their funding because of politics. We got institutions not getting the proper things they need for their school. And you want to preach this SWAC versus MEAC? Well, we're fighting the same fight. Yeah, FAMU beat South Carolina State last year. And they had the nerve to say, oh, we definitely win in that game just because FAMU lost to Jackson State the way they did in this game. I agree. FAMU needs help as well. All HBCUs do. Not proper funding. You saw the academic situation at FAMU. They need more staff. and people want to go SWAC versus MEAC. I don't care about a SWAC versus MEAC. I'll be the first one to tell you. Because I'm looking at every single HBCU, and they don't have the proper things they need as a university, like most of them. They don't have the luxury of their state giving them money. So I'm not going to participate in buffoonery. Oh, you saw right there. A Solo says we won't see them in the Celebration Bowl anyway. Hey, I got my money's on North Carolina Central. Like the brother Hunch said, Jackson State versus North Carolina Central, stamp it. That's who I'm picking winning the MEAC. And I like what North Carolina Central doing. They ain't talking about JSU. They ain't talking about FAMU. They ain't talking about any SWAC team. You know what North Carolina Central doing? They got their head down, focusing on beating everybody in the MEAC. They're not worried about another conference. Yesterday, they beat North Carolina A&T, which others had beating them. 28-13. Yeah, they're just playing ball. I like what North Carolina said. I wish more teams would do that. Stop mentioning other schools and worry about your team. Oh, we produce NFL talent. We're the good HBCU. Come on, man. Ain't nobody outside of HBCU circles are seeing South Carolina State as a premier school. Yeah, you put some players in the league. Kudos. But the last dominant team I remember in the MEAC was North Carolina A&T from 2016 to 2020. Tell me if I'm correct. And guess who has South Carolina State on their schedule? Couple teams, Bethune-Cookman and FAMU. And you know what? Y'all think this is crazy, but they have the talent to beat them. That takes nothing against South Carolina State. But I really get annoyed, and it's not really the South Carolina State's fan for this. Again, the reason why there's animosity to Jackson State, jealousy from outside forces who don't even give a damn about HBCUs. It's not like they care about the progression of the SWAC and the MEAC. They want chaos with HBCUs. Oh, yeah, I would love for, he said, North Carolina T might as well come back home. Hey, North Carolina T is always welcome back home. That's what North Carolina Central fans were saying. Hey, y'all welcome to come back home. Sterling Jason, more money if they merge. Hey, man, that's what I'm on. I'm all about that unity, brother. To keep the money in house, to grow leagues out. We got too much to worry on about some damn SWAC versus MEAC. Because the only thing I know is that I'm a black man. That's what I know. And I live my life different from others. Travis Hunter selected HBCU over them. Yep. Let me get started on that. Travis Hunter. This is what a 5-star looks like. This is what a number 1 player in the country looks like. Travis Hunter. The ability for him to shut out one side of the field. And he is as good as advertised. There was people throughout the web when Travis Hunter committed. You remember they were saying, if I was Travis Hunter, he's not really all that at corner. Remember that? Oh, Travis Hunter, he's better at receiver than corner. Instead of saying he's elite at both. But you know what? He's as good as advertised. And I wanted FAMU to try him more, to keep throwing at him. But Musa was smarter than that. Because if keep throwing at Travis Hunter, that's going to be a pick. Man, he even had hater Jay Walker in awe. He said, man, every time he's on the field, I'll watch. That's what Jay Walker said. Honcho Johnson says he may not even see receiver this year. We don't even need to see him this year. This is how loaded the wide receivers is. If Travis Hunter only played corner, the offense still goes, even though he's a talented receiver as well. That's a blessing that, shoot, man, that's a good blessing to have. Yeah, he almost had that one-handed snag. If he would have had that, that would have been on ESPN for weeks. Someone said something about Antonio Bailey says receivers are too loaded that you don't even see Rucker and Wyman, and they're dogs. Travis Hunter wasn't even 100% in this game, man. He shut down the whole side of the field like it was nothing. So if you're a corner, to all the DBs out there, if you're a corner or whoever played DB in high school, college, middle school, you name it, if you're not 100%, it's very tough to play at your maximum speed. So what did Travis Hunter do in this game? Travis Hunter was playing off of technique only, with half his speed gone because he's still recovering. Yeah, Travis Hunter wasn't even 100%. He was a playable, we call it in football terms, playable percent. When you can play through an injury or so without any problems. Man, there's so many players I could jot down. Like Ed in Houston said, don't sleep on Coleman. Yeah, Kevin Coleman is as good as advertised. The number one slot in the country. Should have been a 5-star. I don't know how in the hell you can be a top 50 player and not be a 5-star, but that's another video for a different day. I may have to make separate. I may have to make a part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4 of the stream, because I could list so many players on here, man. It's just Coleman. Once Kevin Coleman chilled out and he had that talking to Coach Prime, you started to see him play to his talent. But I think that's just first game jitters. Even with that, Kevin Coleman is dynamic, man. 10.3 yards a catch. That's nothing to sneeze at as a freshman, and his numbers will go up. Willie Gaines, one of the top JUCO slot receivers, man, he came in the game at the third quarter. And remember when I made a video telling you that Jackson State is 12 deep. Jackson State has a receiver that was a 4-star, Jonas Fordeling, that didn't even play in this game. They got 12 deep receivers. Willie Gaines came in the game in the third quarter, had big catches, had a 37-yard catch, almost had a touchdown. The tight ends, Jency Riley, one catch for 12 yards, but he looked good. I'm glad that Brett Bartolone, you've been listening, brother. You've been using the tight ends. Shout out to the brother AB the Hero. He said Jackson State is looking good. Sanders is looking good. Now, I'm going to tell you, Jackson State fans, the game within the game. Before I say it, Rico Powers had a touchdown. Man, we'll have all day. We'll have all day to talk about this. Reese says, y'all think Travis is not 100%. He didn't see offense. I think Travis, this is my opinion, I think he was like 80%. And that's okay. He played. They didn't put him on offense to risk nothing. But Travis on offense is a dog as well, man. And for FAMU's sake, that's a great thing that Travis didn't play offense, because that's another big play waiting to happen. That's more points. Yeah, Shadir did take a step. He's cerebral. I don't want to hear about these other quarterbacks, man. I really don't. They talk about all these FCS quarterbacks playing with the best offensive lines around and all this stuff, man. Give me Shadir Sanders. Because you saw when the offensive line was breaking down, what was Shadir doing? Pump faking. First, second, third read. Right on, AB. You're right on that. I was hoping to see Travis on offense, but no rush. He's got to be a Jackson State for at least 2 years. Yep. He's definitely a pro. He's definitely a pro. Right on, Coach Simmons. Levels to this, man. Make sure you subscribe to Coach Simmons, man. One of the good ones when it comes to this content, man. And Coach Simmons, he don't sugarcoat a damn thing. Yeah, don't worry, Jack. Don't worry, when you'll get to see 100% Travis Hunter soon enough. When you see it, oh man, it's gonna be trouble. Oh, QB1 will be in the Heisman conversation. Hey, y'all keep pushing that, man. But what the haters and Shines are going to do, they're going to say, well, he doesn't play against good competition. And I don't want to hear about that. I know what talent when I see one. And this is how you know the haters don't make no sense. So if you put Shadir Sanders, let's say you put Shadir Sanders on an SEC team, and he's surrounded by athletes. Jackson State has athletes as well, but I'm talking about like Big Ten SEC. With his passing ability, you think he wouldn't do anything? This is how dumb they sound. You just seen Shadir pick a team apart with a normal offensive line. And what the haters going to say, they're finally going to give the offensive line too much credit. they're gonna say, oh, it's easy for Shadir because the offensive line was perfect. No, there were some lapses, but the offensive line is better than last year. I'll say that. Yeah, accuracy, IQ. When the pocket breaks down, he knows when to run and tuck it. Right. Mississippi State plays the same offense. He would rival Will Rogers. And Will Rogers got game too, so I agree. If you, yeah, the O-line was blocking like grown man. Shout out to the improved O-line. And they're going to get better and better and better. I love this new unit for the offensive linemen. Bunch of grown men, smart individuals. And I just hope the offensive coordinator and the rest of the analysts stop switching out the offensive line. Because when that happens, that ruins all the rhythm. When they were switching, I was like, oh boy, here come a turnover. And I called it before it happened. I was like, okay, flag. False start, this and that. I was like, come on now. You could play your backup offensive line once there's a blowout. That would be the deal. Antoine Walden says, if you put Shadir on Bama's offensive line, he does the same thing, put crazy numbers. Man, people don't know football, man. A great offensive line can make you look better than a great offensive line does wonders, man. Yeah, they got a little bit better, man. I like it. I just like that the offensive line this year is smarter and they could hold up. What have I been saying and many others have been saying? The offensive line for Jackson State doesn't have to be perfect, but if it can just do what it needs to do, That's good. And for those who are not normally on this channel, make sure to subscribe to this channel, share this video, like this video. I'm going to be running some errands, but let me know if y'all want a part 2 tomorrow or any other day of this Jackson State versus FAMU breakdown post game, because it's been a great show. K5, yep. K5 had an amazing game. Oh, he's a real deal. Man, I'm happy for Coach Prime. I'm happy for the players. Let no one steal your joy. Because when when Jackson State was losing, everybody was taking jabs at this university, and they had to take it. Now that they're winning, now they have Coach Prime. They're dissing the history of Jackson State, even though they're a blue blood. They're dissing what good the city is, despite the water situation. So they're taking jabs, but let no one take your joy. Oh yeah, I already talked about the Jay Walker situation. Yeah, he's anti-SWAC, man. And again, I think it's stupid to be anti-SWAC or MEAC when the powers that be don't like both. But yeah, he should have been promoting Shadir more. I know he gave him some credit and said some good things on the side, but it wasn't authentic to me. That's just my opinion. Yeah, Beasley. Again, the video I made about Tavion Beasley being in the gym, y'all saw it today. True freshman with an interception and many more. Tavion Beasley came from St. John Bosco, battle-tested. So I'm not surprised at all. But kudos to Coach Prime. Keep doing your thing. Keep rising above the hate. For FAMU, hey, you learn from this loss. Not too many teams can hang with your team and keep pushing forward. You have something to build on. This is RawTruth Media giving you the raw content that you deservedly need. And I'm out.